Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
We can dance, everybody look at your hands. We can dance.
This is Bert Clark, and you're listening to the SA Matters radio show with Gasaway. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes.
Hello and welcome to episode 39 of Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence environments. The SA Matters mission is simple, to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. Before I begin this episode, I want to pause and offer my sincerest appreciation to Midwest Fire for signing on to be the sponsor of the SA Matters radio show for the entire year of 2015. This is a really big deal. It allows me to have some support staff to ensure you get the weekly episodes. I had the opportunity late last year to visit their factory. At that time, we were in discussions about them sponsoring the SA Matters radio show, and before I would commit, I needed to see firsthand their facility and to determine for myself if the quality of their fire trucks met my high standards. I'm kind of funny that way. I don't really want my name being attached to any product that's less than superior in quality and craftsmanship. Well, all I can say is, wow, the staff of the factory were amazing. They have some very high standards there for quality, and most of their employees have been with their company for a very long time. I can tell you this, Midwest Fire, they take care of their employees, and for me, that's huge. It speaks volumes about their internal commitment, and that in turn shows in the quality of the trucks that they build. If you're thinking about buying an engine, a mini pumper, or a tanker pumper, check them out, MidwestFire.com. That's MidwestFire.com. I also want to thank Midwest Fire for sponsoring a giveaway at one of my programs last year at the FDIC in Indianapolis. The winner, Loveland Fire Department in Colorado, is scheduled to have a full-day situational awareness seminar on Saturday, March 14th, funded completely by Midwest Fire. Gestures like this speak volumes to Midwest Fire's commitment not only to building great fire trucks, but also to their passion for improving firefighters' safety. The big news this week, the new website is launched. It's not perfect. I'm still working out a few bugs here and there, but it's up. When you visit, you'll see a blog roll down the left side, the podcast episodes in the middle. You'll see easier access to the content in the store, some mini courses, and I'm still working on the functionality of this section, so be patient for that. Those who've sent me the email saying, when can I sign up for the mini courses? They'll be coming, and I'll make some announcements when they're ready. There'll be there's information on there about upcoming live events. There is some testimonial feedback. There's a blue box on the right side that links to the upcoming events, and a red box, which you've heard me talk about many times before, as a way to sign up for the free membership. I'm coming to you today from Denver, Colorado, where I'm in town to deliver 2 situational awareness programs. I'm also taking a short break from my travels to do some skiing with my 3 sons at Winter Park Resort. You may notice there's a slight difference in the way the radio show sounds this week, and I apologize for that. I forgot my regular podcasting microphone, so I'm recording on a built-in microphone on my MacBook, and I know the quality isn't quite the same, so sorry about that. I've been getting some really nice feedback about the radio show episodes, and I sincerely appreciate everyone who's taken the time to go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and subscribe and leave your feedback. It really does inspire me to want to work harder for you. I am working hard to recruit new members to the SA Matters community of learners, and I'd like to have you as a member if you haven't joined already. You can join for free, and there's over 5,000 members sharing ideas on how to improve situational awareness and make better decisions under stress. If you're interested in joining the SA Matters community, you can go to the samatters.com website, click on that red box I mentioned on the right side of the homepage. I've added a bonus for new members joining the community. And so there's a couple good reasons to join. Well, first, it's free, and who doesn't like free, right? And you get a special report that I've created called 25 Best Practices for Improving First Responder Safety. You'll get connected with me, and I'll send you out a monthly newsletter on topics related to the SA Matters mission. And in celebration of the 3-year anniversary of SA Matters, I'm going to be sending out some free video mini courses that will focus on how the brain learns and how we are training first responders to fail. And I'll also be sharing some best practices for how to fix these problems. You may want to make sure that support@richgasaway.com is on the safe sender list on your email. Otherwise, the emails that contain the video links might not get sent to your regular mailbox, but into your junk folder instead. Based on the feedback I've received on these live programs, I think you'll enjoy watching and sharing these videos. So watch your inbox. I'm working on them, and I know I've been mentioning it for a little while now, but they'll be coming out soon. If you're not a member yet, head over to the SA Matters website and sign up. Following a recent episode where I interviewed a close call survivor, I received multiple emails asking for how to contact the guest. That's when I realized I haven't made mention of the fact that every episode has a corresponding show notes page on the SA Matters website. All you need to do is go to the samatters.com site, and in the middle it'll have all the podcasts, well, not all the podcasts, but the most recent ones scrolling through. There's also a tab on the homepage that'll take you to all the podcast episodes. And or you can just put samatters.com / the episode number of whatever episode I say that we're working on. So, for example, this is episode 39, so you can go to your browser, put www.samatters.com / 39, and that'll take you to the page that contains the link or the show notes for this episode. You can also play the shows right on the desktop device because there's a link there in the show notes. Also contains some takeaways, especially when I have guests or we're doing a close call interview. And then there's information about the show sponsor and contact information for the guest. You can also leave your feedback about the episode there as well. I'd like to take a moment to thank the recent hosts of SA Matters live tour events. These events couldn't be possible without the commitment and support of our program hosts. So recently that's Arvada Fire Protection District and Training Officer John Collar for arranging to have that program, and Castle Rock Fire Department and Fire Chief Arturo Morales for hosting me in Castle Rock. Upcoming events, January 23rd, the Minnesota Rural Electric Association in St. Cloud, Minnesota. January 26th and 27th, Firehouse World. I'll be doing 2 programs in San Diego. January 31, I'll be in Hayward, Wisconsin for the Wisconsin Indian Head Technical College program. February 16th to 18th in Toledo. February 27th, Michigan Fire Chiefs Association in Midland, Michigan. And then February 28th and March 1, a leadership program in Terre Haute. March 2 to 6, a leadership program for the Indianapolis Airport Fire Department. The list and dates and venues for all the upcoming events are located on the SA Matters website. Click on the Program and Keynotes tab, and then the Event Schedule tab. Or now on the new website, you can just click on that blue button on the right side that says Upcoming Events. Check back often as the program listing is updated frequently as new programs are added. Here's hoping that I'll be conducting a program near you and we'll be able to meet up. And if you're interested in hosting a program for your department association, just click on the Contact Us tab on the SA Matters homepage. If you want to get connected with me on social media, you can follow @RichGasaway or @SA Matters on Twitter. On those feeds, I share out messages related to safety and occasionally some interesting news or tidbits, and once in a while, things about my personal travels and my family. So, just get you a chance to know me a little bit on a personal level. What you're getting on Twitter is guaranteed to be 100% authentic and genuine me, warts and all. My tweets are always appropriate for all audiences, and if anyone follows me or posts a message that is offensive or vulgar, you can rest assured that the message will be removed and that person will be blocked from my feed. There are other Twitter feeds that you can go to and post that kind of garbage, and I don't allow it on my feed. So thanks to the more than 13,000 who have connected and engaged with me on Twitter. I love that interaction. You can also get connected with me on Facebook by liking the SA Matters page, and you can get connected with me on LinkedIn as well. And thanks to the more than 8,000 who have connected with me on Facebook and LinkedIn. Also, on a side note, thank you to my LinkedIn associates for the nearly 4,000 endorsements and recommendations. I'm truly humbled by this and sincerely appreciate your faith in my mission and my message. Okay, let's jump into the feature segment of this episode where I talk about problems with station alerting noise. I recorded this feature content of this episode a few weeks back, so you'll notice a difference in the sound quality because I use my standard podcasting microphone. And this episode was inspired by a long conversation I had with some firefighters about challenges they were facing with their station alerting system, so I decided to dedicate an episode to this potential situational awareness barrier. So during this episode, I'm going to talk about the impact of loud noises that it can have on your stress level, how noise triggers some primal defenses, which can cause some good and bad things to happen in awareness, the long-term impact of noise exposure, and the need to upgrade station alerting systems. So let's jump into the feature segment now.
Station alerting noise can impact situational awareness. Noise can erode situational awareness in many ways. Loud noises, soft noises, lots of noises, odd noises, familiar noises, annoying noises. All noise can present challenges. In this article, I want to explore some of the challenges first responders face in a noisy environment, and I'd like to share my personal example of how noise impacted my situational awareness. Station alerting. When I was a young EMT paramedic, the dispatching was done right from the station. The telephone had a very loud horn, sometimes known as in the industry as a klaxon. I'll let you hear what it sounds like, but you might want to turn your speakers down just a little bit. Ready? This is a klaxon. The station was a modest-sized, converted, two-story residential dwelling, and the horn was placed strategically in the stairwell so it could be heard both upstairs when we were in bed sleeping and downstairs when we were in the lounge chairs sleeping. When the phone rang, the horn would blast for a full length of the telephone ring. It would startle me so bad that I would bolt up and run to answer the phone, not wanting it to ring even a second time. My heart would be pounding, and I could hardly recall my required line, "EMS, what is your emergency?" Then the unthinkable happened. A crew member, actually several crew members, slept through the ringing of the phone and the blasting of the klaxon one night, causing a big stir. Our director didn't like it when we missed answering the emergency phone. I guess she had a good reason to be upset. But what she did was almost inhuman. She had the klaxon moved into the bedroom. Remember, this was a residential bedroom, about 10 by 12. The sound of the klaxon would literally vault me out of bed. I would feel my heart beating in my eardrums. I would be out of breath and my skin would become clammy. At the time, I thought little of the reaction, other than how fearful I was that the phone would ring in the middle of the night. I would go to bed with my head wrapped in pillows. I always tried to get the bed next to the phone because I knew I would never let it ring 2 times. I do recall there were many times that I was barely coherent enough to understand the caller, and my hand would be trembling as I would try to write down the address. Sometimes we had to go to the playback recorder downstairs to get the right address because what I wrote down was not readable. I was suffering from noise-induced stress. On high alert. There are many things that can cause stress in our lives. Some of it is short-term or acute stress. Other stressors are long-term or chronic stress. Some stress in our lives is good. It compels us into action that can save our lives. Some of the stress we encounter is bad. It can inhibit action and create consequences. Most often, noise triggers an acute form of stress, and there's a good explanation why it does. The genetic coding in your DNA contains an exquisitely tuned alerting system to warn you of dangers in your midst. The alerting system looks out for things that represent a threat to your survival. The code is, quite literally, millions of years old and dates back to the early existence of humankind. Back in the day, think prehistoric, your cave-dwelling ancestors inhabited a planet that was, in a word, harsh. As they came down from the trees and started walking upright, that's bipedalism, for those who want to impress your friends, they quickly realized that there were lots of things on the ground that wanted to eat them. Defense mechanisms evolved, and thankfully so. Had they not, we would likely be extinct as a species. One of these mechanisms was an alerting system for danger. In essence, be on the lookout for and prepare to kill or run away from anything that could kill us. Those creatures that could kill us possessed certain qualities. Namely, many of them were loud, brightly colored, and moved. When they were trying to kill us, the movement was in our direction. So we learned to be on the lookout for creatures that possessed these qualities. Primal tripwires. Those 4 qualities, things that are loud, bright, moving, and moving in your direction, became the primal tripwires that alert us to danger. They are genetically encoded and influence, to this day, what you pay attention to. They can also trigger a stress reaction, hence the klaxon horn, causing the dump of a boatload of chemicals and hormones that influence and altered my behavior. On the blast of that horn, my heart raced and palpitated in my chest, and I panted like a dog, and my mouth dried out, and my muscles trembled. My brain would turn to mush, and my body leaped into motion with a singular mission: attack that phone and kill that noise. Of course, that was in 1980, and I had not yet gone to school and learned the lessons that would allow me to fully comprehend the neurological impacts of stress on first responder performance. So I acted, or should I say reacted, in ways that were absolutely primal. That telephone was a Neanderthal equivalent of a saber-toothed tiger, and my mindset was attack and kill that telephone, and my body was preparing me to do that. Over the long term, our short-term stress reaction triggers the release of many chemicals, including a dump of epinephrine from the adrenal glands, which sit on top of the kidneys. Epinephrine prepares you for the well-known fight or flight response. It puts your systems on high alert and gives you lots of energy to complete your kill or run away life mission. To counter the effects of epinephrine and reset your system to normal, your adrenal glands also secrete cortisol, one of the many naturally produced hormonal steroids in the body under the family name of glucocorticoids. When the acute stressors become chronic stressors, the buildup of stress hormones start to wreak havoc on your blood vessels. One of the ill effects of cortisol is it rubs against the walls of the vessels like sandpaper and leaves small, rough spots. As those rough spots increase over time, plaque can start to build up. When enough plaque forms on the rough spots, it can block the flow of blood through the vessel. If this happens in your heart, you have a heart attack. If it happens in your brain, you have a stroke. Long since forgotten. It's been over 30 years since my system's been jolted by the stress reaction from a klaxon, so I don't have anything more to worry about as far as my worry of stroke or heart attack, right? Wrong. The sound of the klaxon, and my trained reaction to that sound of the klaxon, is forever burned in my psychological interior. Each time that thing blasted, I immediately experienced a high emotional reaction. Over and over again, my acute stressor, the klaxon, had been stored in my memory, and is now, most unfortunately, a chronic stressor in my mind. Simply stated, my brain and body have learned that when I hear the sound of a klaxon, I am supposed to bolt up and get ready to attack something. My entire system goes on alert. It's called the Emotionally Competent Stimulus, ECS, and it means that for me, any sound that is similar to a klaxon is going to get the same result. I experience this ECS every time I hear the buzzer go off at a basketball game. I don't like that it happens, but I can't control it either. Others in the audience at the basketball game who've never been exposed to having a klaxon go off in a 10 by 12 room 3 feet from their ear at 3 a.m. are not going to experience the same reaction that I do. For so much as my early days in EMS have long since been forgotten, the stress impact of the klaxon lives on. Advice. Stress changes you. It changes you biologically, chemically, emotionally, and physically. Certain types of stress reactions are good. In fact, without an exquisitely designed stress reaction system, our species would have been extinct long ago. Stress helps compel our actions, actions that can save your life. But stress can also be very harmful, and it can have a lasting impact on you. This article addresses one stressor that, once understood, can be managed. There are many modern station alerting systems that use quiet to louder alerting design. The noise that wakes you up starts softly. The concept is simple. Generate only enough noise to arouse the body into a awakened state while avoiding a dump of stress-induced chemicals and hormones. Heavier sleepers will be awakened by the alerting system as it increases in volume. The system can be enhanced by using lighting that also comes on gradually instead of a massive blast of bright light. Recall, bright things also trip the primal wires for stress. A loud alerting system, coupled with a sudden and unexpected flash of bright lights, sets the entire system of bad things into motion and can have a significant impact on your situational awareness. It is possible in the future that beds might also be equipped with vibration systems designed to progressively nudge you into waking. I think this should be explored. Discussions. Discuss your station's alerting system and the impact it may be having on your situational awareness if it jolts you into an immediate and heightened state of arousal. When evaluating your alerting system, take into consideration both sound and lighting. This includes the quality and the volume of the speaker system. If the speakers are in the apparatus bay are cheaper but loud and do nothing but echo noise throughout the bay, and responders can't understand what's being said over them anyhow, this just adds stress to the situation. The dispatcher's voice, tone, and inflection can also impact stress. If you cannot understand the dispatcher, it's going to increase stress. If the dispatcher is excitable, it's going to increase stress. If the dispatcher talks too fast or too slow, it's going to increase stress. Chances are a dispatcher who is contributing to the problem of creating stress for responders is completely unaware of it and could benefit from a good teacher and coach.
Well, that's it. Episode 39 is complete. Thank you to our sponsor, Midwest Fire, and thank you to our listeners for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I sincerely appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. If you've experienced or witnessed a near miss and would like to be interviewed on this show, visit samatters.com and click on the Contact Us link. Thank you in advance for sharing your lessons learned so others may live. If you like the show, please go to iTunes and Stitcher Radio and search for SA Matters Radio and subscribe to the podcast and leave your feedback. If you like the show, I'd really appreciate you giving it a 5-star review as well. Not only does this motivate me to work harder for you, but it also helps others to find the show. If you've been inspired and want to learn more about situational awareness, consider becoming a member of the SA Matters community. It's free, and when you sign up, you'll receive that special report I talked about earlier, 25 Best Practices for Improving First Responder Safety. To claim your free gift, head over to samatters.com and click on that red box on the right side of the homepage. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gassaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gassaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgassaway.com.